Sonia, it is so great to be speaking with you. You're a real kind of fixture as part of our local music scene. How long have you been in Stockton?
Wow. So I've been in Stockton since 2001. It does not seem like it's been 24 years. I came here in 2001 with my husband, Nicholas Waldvogel, who came to join the Conservatory of Music, and the both of us have been there ever since.
Did you already have kids when you moved here and you raised them here?
We were newlyweds. So this was our first home in Stockton, 2001, and we lived a block from the university, and our kids were born in 2004, 2007, but we arrived with essentially nothing, and kind of built a life here.
Wow. And so, why don't you tell us a little bit about your background before you got here? When did you first start getting interested in music? When did you first start playing the piano?
So I grew up in a place called Saskatoon, Saskatchewan in Canada. It's in the prairies. My dad was a university professor, and I started the piano at age 6. I'm the youngest of three, and both my siblings played the piano. And apparently, the story is that I was extremely anxious to play, and my mom asked the piano teacher, "When can Sonia start?" And she said, "After Christmas." So in Canada, the December the 26th is called Boxing Day. This is the family lore. On Boxing Day, I got up and said, "Today I'm having my first piano lesson." Of course, she did not mean December 26th. I've kind of followed in my siblings' footsteps. And so I started playing at age 6, ended up going to study at University of British Columbia. And then after that, off to the Peabody Conservatory in Baltimore. That's actually where I met Nicholas. And after Peabody, I did a master's there. I spent a year abroad in London, and it was a wonderful year. I studied at the Guildhall School of Music and Drama. Um,
Ah,
London is just this incredibly vibrant city, wonderful artistic experiences, museums, and so on. After London, I decided it was time that I get my doctorate, so I went to the University of Montreal. I followed a teacher that I was interested in studying with there. And then after that, I was in Switzerland for a few years with Nicholas, and then I landed a position at the University of Puget Sound for 2 years before coming out here to Stockton.
wow, that's the whole rundown.
This is the rundown.
Now that you're teaching at the conservatory at the University of the Pacific, you've really established this great tradition of playing a lot of chamber music. Was that always one of your first loves, or had you always kind of split between doing recitals, chamber music, concertos?
I mean, I had always loved to play chamber music, and when I arrived in 2001, the cello teacher at the time, Nina Flyer, asked if I would be interested in playing piano trios. So we formed a trio that spring with the violinist at the time. Her name was Wendy Olson. And
Right.
at the beginning, we were called the New Pacific Trio, and we just started rehearsing and playing together regularly. At one point, we decided we were no longer that new, so it was time to change our name. But that trio has been going on since 2001. We've had a few personnel changes. Our current violinist, Ann Miller, has been with us since 2008. Nina left the university in, I think, 2017, and Vicky Wong joined us. So it was a happy circumstance. It wasn't something I was actively looking for, but it came up in very naturally, and there's so much wonderful repertoire for the piano trio.
Oh, yeah. Why don't you tell me your honest opinion about I mean, nobody's watching or listening, only the internet at this point. What do you think about this Fantasy Concertante by Pejačević?
When I listened to this, it made my hair stand up because it's very virtuosic. It seemed to me to somehow be influenced maybe by the experience of having just passed through the First World War. It was written in 1919, so it has this kind of defiance almost to it.
Yeah.
It's one movement, and there are many themes. And what's really interesting is how she kind of brings everything back in the cadenza, all these strands. And there's a clear sense of structure, but it's very untraditional.
But that cadenza is a monster. I mean, that's a really big part of the piece.
I think in terms of minutes, it's about a third of the piece. It's
Yeah.
something like it's like around 4 to 5 minutes, and the piece is around, I guess, 14 minutes. So yeah, but it does kind of bring everything back at the end. I think all of the themes are there, all mixed together, and it's fun.
Well, we can't be absolutely sure, but I bet you anything this is a California premiere and possibly a US premiere.
Could well
I
be.
mean, the only few recordings I've been able to discover were with some European folks.
I think the audience is going to love it. It's a thrilling piece. It's just kind of got everything in it from despairing at times and hopeful at other times. And I think people will enjoy it.
What I'm hoping is that they'll come out of there saying, wow, why haven't we heard this before?
Right. That's
Well, we're really looking forward to it, and thanks so much.
Thank you, Peter.